Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart and the altcoin market. Take a peek over there at the XRP price chart quite a bit this morning. We also take a look over there at the United States stock market, which is set to open up in the next 3 minutes to see how stocks are looking as the day gets going. Take a peek over there at precious metals and, of course, the DXY US dollar currency index. Lastly, we wrap it up with any type of financial news that is going on out there in the world and any type of crypto news that is going on that may be relevant. Wow, what a day. We've got a lot of red on the board. I'm going to expect that we actually have a very large stream today. Judging by how many of you guys were in here before the stream even started, the action that we're seeing, the pickup of momentum, you could see that sentiment really shifting out there on Twitter. I'm going to guess that maybe we even see close to 4,000 people here in the stream. If we do, that's a good sign. That means we're reaching an extremity happening in there, and that sentiment is reaching its kind of breaking point. So we'll see how things go as the stream keeps going. We're already at 1,600, right, as the stream gets kicked off and moving. So looking over there at Bitcoin, we're at $38,800. Prices just continue to shift down in there. Spent the morning looking for any signs of any type of bouncing coming out of there. I don't see anything on the indicators yet indicating that a support has come in here. Yes, we're reaching into some older oversold levels on certain time frames, but otherwise things for like bullish divergences or things like that, they're just not appearing yet here for Bitcoin. Really, for my thoughts on like distribution happening up in here, I just find it so unlikely that we are going to just crash and crumble from here, but that there's going to be distribution that does take place in here. This is kind of that first initial major warning shot being fired over there for Bitcoin right now. When we go back to these types of distributions and how they happen and where they kind of find those first support levels, I've kind of drawn a little line in here where my guess is going to be that where we could find some support really down in here, but still just waiting for some signs to start to emerge. We really haven't had any yet on any of the time frames to show any type of big bullish divergences emerging just yet. So Bitcoin just kind of keeps going down, 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 down. Waiting for us to get down into a support level, and then hopefully we start seeing those things emerge, which my guess is going to be we're a lot closer than we were. So getting much closer to there, and hopefully that comes in pretty soon. As for total altcoin market cap, right back down to the lows of the range that it's been in here for the last month and a half. So back at the lows of the range for the last month and a half. The big one probably on a lot of people's radars and the one that I've been staring at a lot today has been XRP, which I'm not sure, is it still? No, it poked below 50 cents, but not quite currently right now. Looking over here at XRP, we see that we've dipped lower. Now, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been looking at this chart over here, and I've been spending the whole morning diving through this thing as we were able to hold all those daily support closes above 52.4 cents, right? Is that the number that we were holding on top of? And then, of course, now we've dipped lower. And I'm referencing back to this, and it's kind of like, okay, why were we using this in the first place? This thing was definitely right. Why were we using it in the first place? And why were we looking at this one in particular? So this chart right here is actually from CoinTrader Pro. And it came to the realization there's an error on this chart. There's an error here on CoinTrader Pro, and it's actually that this is not the support level. The support level's way down in here. And I do not know for the life of me why this chart from CoinTrader Pro shows our support holding on top of all these levels. Because when we go through all of these, that's not the case. The case is actually lower. It's way lower, way down in here, down at about 20 cents for this accumulation schematic that we've seen in here before. We could see that right here. We don't hold here at 22 cents. We dip all the way down to 19.7. Why this is holding way up here and not giving us an accurate representation on this chart, which is the one we've been showing all week, I don't know. But when we go to each individual exchange and see how the ABC correction played out in here, these were our levels that we've pulled back down into in here, way back lower than that level up in there. And as we could see, that is not the hold. And where are we right now? Right there. So we're at this point right now. I'm hoping that we actually see a really big group of people in this live stream today to give a little bit of sentiment extremes, because we know at our peaks we saw the exact same thing happen for sentiment extremes. There's a chance today I'll even buy XRP live on the stream today. Just where we're at. Very simple idea in here. We have to hold the lows in here. We have a series of higher lows happening in here. This should be our support. It makes all the perfect sense in here happening for Bitcoin to find its support in here. Distribution keeps happening throughout here. This is where those altcoins have their shot to go. So now it's really just about Bitcoin finding its footing and just calming down at this point. I do think there's always a chance that Bitcoin nips up a little bit high, but of course, like I've continued to say, this is the topping for Bitcoin, in my opinion. This is the opportunity for something to happen in here, and that's just where we are right now. So today, maybe there's a chance we catch it live on stream that a support can come in here. It seems like there's still a little bit of a flush that's going to happen in here, but the thing that we can all hoot and holler for, whether it happens in this stream, because we're only going to be on here for an hour or not, if it happens into the market opening, the absolute epic sign would just be a quick pull back up. And that's how these things tend to happen. You reach an extreme and then people get washed out. They can't take the pain, and it takes it all back in the blink of an eye. So that's kind of what we're looking for, and really what we need in here, because we don't have like signs of bullish divergences emerging on things like Bitcoin. You're really just going to look for the buyers to come in and step in here. And we are now currently at those prices right now for XRP and for the altcoin market and for Bitcoin, for something like that to be coming relatively soon in here, as we've now entered into those levels. So with Bitcoin, my thoughts on a distribution schematic in here like this, right? Pray to God it is not crashing and crumbling straight down into the ground. That's never been my thesis from here. My thesis was, of course, reject that, this is the topping of Bitcoin. All we're getting is a retrace, but you historically do not just go straight down into the ground. And I don't think JP Morgan or BlackRock are ready to send it down into the ground. They have a whole lot more Bitcoin they want to sell to retail investors. They want to keep the dream alive for longer and have them just keep buying and buying and buying while they dump and dump and dump. And I just don't think it's going to go straight down. So where is a logical level for a support to come in here? We're very, very close to where that I think that could actually start to come in here. But we'll need to see that the buyers do show up in here today, likely with the velocity that we're moving at. Hopefully by the end of today, we do see that come in. Again, a really big warning sign for XRP would just be taking out these lows. It's something you shouldn't have happen. However, this is the actual area that we do end up getting to in the ending phase of accumulation, the ending back test before things got firing up. And this would make sense in a phase like this. If this is distribution, if this is a retrace, and this is the final ending stuff happening in here, it would all make perfect sense for something like that to be coming in right now. But again, I don't know why this chart shows us finding support at 22 cents. You can go look through every exchange yourself in here. It is not the case. We actually do pull right back down into here for our final touch and our final. And I've talked about this a lot too, living through this moment. I was here in 2017, an extremely toxic environment in the XRP ecosystem from a sentiment standpoint. I don't know if you'd call what we have toxic right now. But you definitely defeated, definitely frustrated. I saw a poll get put out there, and it was just maximum frustration happening in there. So these are the elements that you're looking for. You're looking for sentiment to be in the gutter, fear to be returning. You got fear everywhere. You got copium. Grayscale. Nobody could have seen Grayscale selling. It's like, okay. But, in distribution, right, looking for a support to come in here and for the hope and optimism to come returning back once again. And believe me, they will turn it on. They always do. But anyway, so this is, we're definitely entered into the zone. We're definitely entered into it currently right now, where this thing should be finding some supports happening in here. And if not, then oh boy, we're going to have some big problems. But this is definitely the region where things should be happening in here. We're definitely getting very close for Bitcoin for where supports could be coming in. So whether or not we catch it in the live stream and it happens here in the first trading hour of the day, the thing to be looking for is just that first initial big rip right back upwards. And if we get something like that, boom, that's it. Everybody breathe a sigh of relief. We just saved ourselves pretty well. So that's what we're waiting on, and just know that we are in it right now. I'm probably going to take a buy on this. And I have a long-term bag of XRP. It is the largest one that I have, and that's not being touched. I am probably going to take a pretty decent-sized buy on this. This, however, will have a stop loss below a lower low for the buy that will be taken on here. So all conditions are met. Either this thing is going oblivion, mooning, or this thing, we're in bigger problems than we can imagine. But as of right now, this is not a deviation. This is actually right on top, right? What do we have? We're struggling underneath here, struggling underneath here, get out, and then support, and then bounce, support. This should be a level that does hold in here. And so long as it does, this is probably one of the most exciting things we could be looking for, considering this thing and retracing and distribution, and even the Bitcoiners themselves sitting there saying, well, the returns are probably going to be pretty muffled for Bitcoin. That's not why anybody comes to crypto. It is a very, very small select amount of people who come here for Bitcoin is ultrasound money and it does volcano stuff and mining. Very small amount of people who are here for that. People come to crypto for the volatility. And the narrative for Bitcoin is even changing in regards to volatility. So whatever they do, you just know how it works. They go elsewhere. So fingers crossed, we're at that moment. We're right there right now. Now we were waiting for a big, quick pullback to eventually happen in here. And should we end up getting it, big sigh of relief, and tomorrow will be a much calmer day. So we're at 3,100. I don't know. Have we reached our extreme yet? I think 31's kind of in the ballpark of what we've seen. I think when we had XRP hit here, someone has to look at the numbers. I think we hit 4,000, and that was YOLO. Maybe in the fear side, they're not so much, but maybe so. Either way, wait for the rest of the day, see how we go. All right, so there you go. Bitcoin searching for a bottom. Hopefully coming in pretty soon. My guess is somewhere right around 38K that we can find some type of support to start emerging in here. Again, I'm not even buying Bitcoin. I don't have any interest in it, but that would be a fantastic place to see the first levels of support come in and this distribution schematic to just continue playing out rather than a straight line death doomtown. All right, moving on over. Again, altcoin market still continuing this big fat range. XRP, we've hit that one. Stock market, how you looking at the opening here? It looks like I don't have it on there. All right. Dow Jones, you are down 88 points. S&P's up 5. NASDAQ is up 3. NDXT, NASDAQ 100 technology sector down 14. So you can see it's still in the all-time high that was set from yesterday. Looking over at the S&P, still at the all-time high set from yesterday. Of course, the Dow Jones still is. And then the NASDAQ, very, very close to its 4.236 extension. So we are a mere 2.7%. Whether you're in crypto, whether you're in anything, if you have 401ks, you have anything like that, I hope you're paying attention and considering these things. Remember, narratives come. Things happen. Everybody blames the narrative. You can see that with with all the Bitcoiners blaming Grayscale. Oh, we could have never seen this coming because of Grayscale. Remember, this thing is up 2,080%. There's only 2.7% left. You have enjoyed the last 15 years of glory. You do whatever the heck you want to do. But for some people, their exposure to the market goes far beyond just having crypto. It goes into everything that they own. life savings, retirement funds, everything like that. Keep your eyes peeled on the stuff going on over here, and narratives. They always come. They always do. All right. Gold, $2,022. DXY still just continuing to move along in here. Is it set another little high? So getting a little bit of a break up there for the DXY this morning. NDXT, all this stuff, right? So there you go. This is all still in distribution is what my thoughts are for the NDXT, but that there's still more time left in here, that this is going to take a while for this thing to play out in here. We could have several months ahead of us for the excitement to happen in crypto. Not so much for Bitcoin, though. Sorry, Bitcoin. So, all right, there you go. $38,600. We'll see if we can find some support for Bitcoin. There are no signs as of yet. No buyers have stepped in. There's no bullish divergences on here. You are oversold on some time frames, but just because you're oversold doesn't really mean a whole lot. You want to at least see the buying chilling out. Even as we shift down on these time frames with Bitcoin, there's just no real signs of buyers stepping in here just yet. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And this would be a logical area for a larger distribution. And I know people get real fearful on straight lines down, and I get that. But typically we distribute through here. Typically you don't just go straight line down. There's going to be some type of distribution that happens in here. The buyers will always remember that too. Should we catch a bounce in here? There was no signs of buyers. There's nobody screaming on the internet that they're buying. There's none of that stuff right in there. If a big line shoots back up, there will be a bunch of people claiming, I bought it. I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer. No, you weren't. Okay. There you go. Jerk. What a jerk. All right, so there you go. Bitcoin. Hopefully we can find a support here pretty soon. XRP, again, for those just tuning in. I don't know why CoinTrader Pro has been showing us support levels on top of here. We can go through everything else throughout in here. It shows we're actually in the support level as of right now, where these things all happened at. We are currently there right now. So I'm going to be a buyer here today when I get off the stream and go to take care of some business. So there you go, putting some of those funds back into the market in here. But again, this particular buy will have stop losses. This particular buy will stop loss on the event of lower lows start getting set in here. So, all right, there you go. Hopefully we reach the extreme today and things can turn their way around. But there you go. Bitcoin, 38,700. It's real curious. Yeah. What's another thing? I saw some fear start. I saw a fear narrative. Like, I just laugh. Like, when I make breakfast, I just kind of laugh to myself because I'm walking around the kitchen making my shake. Like, if you are a newswire trader, imagine what they're going through right now. Oh, I got to buy because of the Bitcoin ETF. I saw it swirling around over there on Twitter today. What is it? The Mount Gox Bitcoin unlock coming soon. 200,000 Bitcoin set to be unlocked in the next couple of weeks to add more sell pressure. Like, how do you survive, man, as a newswire trader? Right? I mean, there you go. Now they're getting hit with fear narratives after the prices fallen 20%. You just can't make it up. If you're a retail trader and you're dangling on the lowest fruit of news, you're screwed. I mean, that's simply that. If that's your strategy to follow news and all that stuff, you're never going to succeed. You're an emotional roller coaster at all times because the media knows how to just completely decimate you emotionally. Hit you with negative news when you're down and hit you with positive news when you're high. It's always like that. So I saw that today starting, and it sounds like that's going to be the next thing to start scaring retail investors is Mt. Gox stuff. And typically, if we don't have that, then we end up getting some Tether FUD. That's been the consistent theme for the last 7 years. Some type of Tether FUD comes out, Mt. Gox FUD. It's kind of like the old, what can we do to scare people today? We can always go back to the old classic Mt. Gox stuff, or we can always go back to old classic Tether, start scaring people on that. That's a good idea. It works every time for 7 years. So Keep your eyes on that. It sounds like the Mt. Gox fear narrative has begun this morning. We'll see if that gains any traction and we get some capitulation. That's kind of what you need. You need the retailers to buy peaks and sell lows, and this is how it goes. So there you go. All right, Bitcoin total 2, hanging out. XRP, we've hit that one. Stock market, how you doing now that you're open a little bit more? Dow down 91 points, S&P up 3 points, Nasdaq up 1 point. DXY slight up, and DXT still hovering on top of that high. I don't expect that to hold. I expect that to eventually pull back at some point. All right, rate hikes. How's this thing going? .97% probability of a pause and a 58% probability of a pause in March. I'm going to suspect these numbers will change. I don't know when the next CPI release is. When is the next CPI? Well, we don't get one until February 13th. Okay. It's going to be a little while, huh? So we'll pause there. We'll get a CPI release. I'm expecting that we will see CPI drop during the next one. So we'll see what they do. Again, we live stream these things. This is going to be next Wednesday. So that's 8 days from today. It's in the middle of the day. We do live stream these and they're pretty fun. All right, heading over there to the news. Looking over there on CNBC, Procter & Gamble price hikes boost revenue while Gillette write-down weighs on earnings. Netflix is to stream WWE's Raw starting next year and its biggest jump into live entertainment. It's interesting that you have Netflix like positive news hitting the wire today, because yesterday, like after the markets closed, I think like the head of like Netflix original programming stepped down. He quit yesterday. And then today we get like positive. They are muffling that with positive Netflix info. It's interesting. United CEO cast doubts on 737 MAX 10. Who cares? Market complacent about the risks of Trump win. Here on Tuesday's biggest analyst calls. World's largest hedge funds. Record bumper year of profits. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Political stuff. China weighs stock market rescue package backed by $278 billion. Yeah, I guess it's time for us to start paying attention to what's going on over there in China. Not that it, I think China is in like a major stock market issue right now. I think they've banned short selling. I think they've been dealing with some crashes over there. Again, like a precursor to, hey, that might happen in the United States stock market at some point soon too. So pay attention. We'll find that out. We'll find out more of that for tomorrow's Markets in the Morning. Everything that's going on over there in China in regards to their stock market, but they're in kind of a world of hurt right now. Stock rally stalls as earnings take center stage. Netflix pays $5 billion. Why is like the Netflix thing? Hold on. Netflix steps down. Wow, I didn't even see this. Did you guys? Oh, wait, that was last year. So in October of last year, their CEO and founder of Netflix stepped down. What was it yesterday? I don't know. I'll have to look for it for tomorrow. You would think that would be the news, but they're really focusing on the WWE thing. Okay. Looking over there at crypto news. Hey, there it is. Mt. Gox confirms creditors of Bitcoin addresses for repayment. There we go. Hurry, everybody buy because of ETF. Hurry, everybody sell because of Mt. Gox. U.S. lawmakers press Meta over crypto and blockchain plans. Bitcoin price risks 40K breakdown as GBTC ETF steps up Bitcoin outflows. It's amazing, man. All right, look, what do you want to call it? Magical unicorn, fairy dust, puppet masters pulling the puppet strings, God, or simulation? You hit the 618 retracement level. Everybody is YOLO bullish, full-blown attack on anybody saying anything about, hey, I could reject here. And then every news story in the world to tell you it's going to keep crumbling. JP Morgan's, I missed it. Lunar colony unlikely by 2030, but that's not the point. 3 bull market narratives for 2024 that you haven't heard about yet. Bitcoin price recovers from 40.3K lows with Bitcoin volatility decimated. These articles sound old, like they haven't updated it. Bitcoin price falls to 6-week low under 40K. Okay. Bitcoin price falls to a 6-week low under 40K. What's next for Bitcoin? Bitcoin devs can undo 21 million supply cap, but can't force changes. Are Bitcoin longs waiting for sub 40K? 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. JP Morgan CEO's dig on Bitcoin and Satoshi spark Bitcoin hodl rumors on Reddit. Right. So it says, are Bitcoin longs waiting for sub 40K? You know, it's one of those things that like I miss about the olden days. And like, I still always expect we're going to see one of them show up at some point, where we do make these types of falls and then just a big, you got wrecked candle to the upside shows back up, where they do just wham right straight back up and leave everybody behind who did end up capitulating down at these lows. And they show up very aggressively. I'm not saying we're there yet, but that is the type of thing to look for coming out of these types of support levels when we get into them, is something very quick on a reversal where it just shoots straight back up. Hopefully we end up seeing something like that today as we are down into those price levels where something like that could happen. All right, moving on to new news. Bitcoin under 39K as ETF debut continues to be a sell the news event. FTX sold about $1 billion of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, explaining much outflow. Yeah, so I don't know what why people attach them. Like, why do people attach themselves to that narrative? How are you going to use any of that information to help you? How is that going to help you? Or is the only thing that is happening is everybody is focusing on it because we hit the 618 retracement and they were all bull tards at the top, right? I mean, so now, oh, it is Grayscale. It's Grayscale. Okay, but what is that going to do for you to focus on that? Are you going to know, like, how are you going to know that any of that? How are you going to follow that information to be helpful for you? Personally, I'm just not paying attention to any of it. Like, this is people excuse narrative, right? It's always narrative building. Always narrative building. FTX sold about $1 billion of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, explaining much of the outflow. Yeah, I know I sound like a jerk, but this is nothing new for me with news. I just don't. If you have not realized it yet, news wrong foots you. Following news, being a narrative follower, wrong foots you. Nonstop. All right, there you go. So this is what the narratives are being fed to everybody. Enjoy, just like you have over here at Bloomberg, just like you have at CNBC. You're being fed all these narratives. Bitcoin, we're looking for support to come in here. And then once the support comes in, get ready for everybody to scream, "Oh, GPTC is done. See? FTX is done." I have had breakfast today. I promise. This is just genuine jerk. So, all right. There we have it. We've gone through the news. We know, it's still expected to be a pause by the Fed. We're at very interesting price levels for supports to be coming in here. We've been approaching them. We've gotten to them. Again, having to reflect back on why we got a false chart here from CoinTrader Pro, where all of the other exchanges definitely give us a completely different picture in here, no matter what we're looking at. So I don't know why this one was showing us this. This is what we should have been looking at. It was all the different exchanges and the market caps, but for some reason CoinTrader Pro very off, which means we're at the golden opportunity zone right now for XRP. No new lows. You set new lows, all bets off. We're in it right now though. So, and we got real close to 4,000. I'm curious if we can get there. If you're watching and you're like, "Oh, I got to go. I better close the app." Don't you dare. We got to hit 4,000. So that way we could be like, "See, it's extreme." All right. I don't know. All right. There you go. Waiting for Bitcoin to see if it can give us one last flush to spook everybody out. We'll see if we can get a negative narrative to come in, right? That would be ideal. It sounds like, they're really trying to run with the Mount Gox. It's funny because I haven't seen this on the news. I just saw this. I saw some dude on Twitter posting about it. But here we go. It's the first article here on Cointelegraph, Mount Gox, to scare the herd a little bit after things just turned around so quickly. So we'll see if we can get this. And then suddenly Grayscale's out of Bitcoin or FTX is out of Bitcoin. And it turns, oh, wait, false alarm about Mount Gox. Everything's fine. And then everything just turns around and, on to the next narrative we go. All right, I'm done. Still holding in ranges here for the market, looking to see if we can get a very quick turnaround happening in here for these altcoins and this market, as Bitcoin is very, very close to where a support level should be at in here. But to not be confused in here for Bitcoin, for those who track stuff, right? Like, just to be clear, again, this is a reiteration of like the likelihood of seeing distribution happening in here up in these price levels, is that even in these things, we are typically followed by series of higher lows happening, right? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. We definitely have a lower daily low, right? So lower daily lows, these are the types of things that emerge themselves in distribution. An example in here is, at least in this one, like right here, you still are in distribution, but you get lucky enough to still get a little bit of a new high happening in here. But once these daily lows start coming in here, that is a warning sign happening. So we definitely are into daily lows, and not just barely, not just wicking, close way back down low. So again, on this channel, we're still going to be viewing this from the topping aspect of Bitcoin and from the distribution aspect of Bitcoin. And what we're really just praying for here is that this is not just a boom, complete lights out event for Bitcoin, but that this is very much a longer distribution time period. You got the stock market in all-time highs, you got the Fed in a pausing cycle. JP Morgan probably wants to spend a long time selling all these Bitcoin to these retail investors and unloading their own personal bags onto them. It would be just, seems pretty unlikely. They're just going to be a one and done event, but they'll keep the dream alive. They'll keep the news narratives flowing. They'll keep the excitement flowing and keep retail really excited about Bitcoin up in here. So I just highly, highly doubt it is just a crumbling situation in here, but things will come back, sentiment will return, people will be all excited again, and it's just the cycle of everything of how it happens. And when we get into those moments where things crash and crumble, people think the excitement's never going to come back again. Well, reflect on yourself 2 weeks ago. How excited were you? How pessimistic were you back here in September and October? How pessimistic were you down here when the banking crisis was happening? How pessimistic were you during FTX? Then how excited were you that Bitcoin was going to $1 million in 90 days? And how excited were you that Bitcoin ETFs and Cathie Wood was on TV saying we're going to 600,000 to 1.5 million for Bitcoin? Excitement always returns. These moments like these are always momentary periods, right? They don't last forever. The old saying, this too shall pass. You get through these things eventually, and then you just completely forget about them and you're YOLO longing bonk. Just how it goes. So looking for supports here, and this may be the exciting time, the first sign, right? So even in here, you see a 5-wave structure in here. You see very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, waiting for boom, a big push right back up. Should we end up getting that pretty soon? That's it, bottom's in. So waiting for that to show up in here in the market, and hopefully we end up getting that today. Let's head on over to the chat. Dang, we got a lot of members. There's 37 in there. Dang. Thank you, guys. I'm only happy when it rains. Yeah. For those who have been waiting, right, missed your opportunity, right, to grab stuff. Stuff is in price, getting into interesting prices, right? First thing is, of course, seeing that there is some legitimate support and then setting some type of rules, right? And making sure this doesn't become a liquidation. I don't think it's going to be a liquidation event, like a catastrophic liquidation, like a C19 style event or anything like that. But for those who just missed it, a lot of high quality stuff. I saw Sentiment reposting the top 10 developer activity coins. Again, if you don't know how to do anything, history shows, even just paying attention to that, following Sentiment on Twitter, right? Those top 10s, it was your best bucket from 2021. And we've gone through all that, and I've broken all that stuff down in here by measuring development activity, percentage drawdown, circulating supply inflation, all those variables and everything. And there are things you can do to even do better in 2021 than just focusing on developer activity. But if your strategy is just like, hey, I'm going to go look at coin market cap, I'm going to go look at Twitter and let some influencer show me a coin, there's very simple things to do, really, just by looking at developer activity and focusing on the top 10, top 15 development activity coins. And so, of course, I've written all about that over here in my newsletter on Substack, which is blockchainbacker.substack.com. There's a link in the description and here in the chat. But those coins, value stuff, there's stuff out there getting into more interesting pricing right now. So if we are on the cusp of an event happening in here, my bet is on that those higher development activity coins will be the best performing group. It looks like XRP is back to 50.5. And so that's what I'm going to be. And I still believe that's going to be the group that performs the best in general on average. So, okay, there we go. Enough rambling. 38.8 for Bitcoin, back to 50.4 for XRP. We'll hop into the chat here. We'll see how emotional the chat is today, and everything's gonna be all right, guys. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Remember how excited you were 2 weeks ago? Don't worry, those times will return. Andy Philpott gifted a BCB membership. My brother, thank you very much, Andy. Always here early, and he did that 17 minutes before the stream even started. JB Estrada, member new, welcome, brother. I am a friend of God is a new member. Welcome. And XP Market, member for 10 months, says, thanks to BCB for highlighting the XRPL issues. It is essential we move forward from just holding XRP to actively using it. Real value comes when you use it, not just from owning it. Time to fully utilize its potential. Right. And it comes more than just utilizing it. Right. And I think that's the thing we have to understand with a lot of these blockchains, is that economies get created on them. Right? Why, people create things, and this is the cold hard reality of life. Okay. Everybody here watching this channel right now, the 3,600 people, you're here because you want to make money. You are not here for wasting your time. You're here to try to make money in the cryptocurrency market. Right? That's just what it is. The world is full of entrepreneurs. The world is full of people trying to make money. You could buy, you could hold, you could sit back and wait and say, hey, that's it. But then I go to my regular job and I make my money. There are builders. And if they're going to build things on the XRP ledger, they're going to build them on Solana, build them on Ethereum. Are they going to build them just to be friendly? No, it's a business. It's trying to create a product for a group of people to make money. That is what building is. In any way, right? Uniswap, is that to make money? Yeah. Metaverses, are they to make money? Yes. If they're good products, then people will want to use them. And instead of calling everything a scam that gets created, or any attention, or NFT markets, or metaverses, or anything, helping these succeed. When other developers look to any type of project, they're looking to see that there's an economy available there, that projects do succeed on those chains. If projects don't succeed, and if there's no interest in anything, and all they want to do is just hold and do nothing, why would anybody want to try to build a business on there? Why would anybody want to build a product when that's just a ghost town there? So it's really important that anybody building, and if they're building a good product, to support them, encourage them, and have them be successful. Because if they're successful, it will attract others. Others will say, hey, building there seems to be successful. Let me go try. Let me see if I can put my time, energy, and money into building something and it be successful there, right? Nobody does it to get rainbows and kitties. They're doing it to build a business. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people. You're just building this to make money. Of course they are. You think anybody? What do you think anybody is doing? Why is anybody building anything if it's not a business? You build a video game. What are you building it for? To make money, right? That's what life is. So there needs to be an economy. There needs to be a successful economy. And so we have to focus on where are those choke points, where are those pain points to help those who are building be successful. And I think we have a couple of things on the XRP ledger that are going to be exciting and work. But there needs to be, the developers need to see that those things are successful. So that'll be, again, like I've said, 2024, it's going to be my focus on bringing attention, solving problems, and helping XRP's development growth. It's going to be my main side project. All right. Thank you, XP Market. I'm a friend of God, upgraded to a hodler. Brother, thank you. JB Estrada, BCB, thank you. Also, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Reese Early, what are you doing with your 401k to hedge against the market crash? I don't have a 401k. However, I do have like college funds for my children, right? And so with my kids' college funds, I do have them in 2/3 money market accounts. Only 1/3 of that is exposed to the equity markets. Right. So I pretty much self-manage all of my own, all of my net worth. I self-manage it myself. I don't hire anybody to do it. But right. And it's not like my entire net worth is 100% tied to longing crypto. There's a large chunk of money longing crypto. But I do the boring boomer stuff. And I talk about that here too. Treasury bills at 5% interest, sign me up. I've got them, right? High yield savings accounts that pay 4.5%, sign me up, right? So, it's diversified into things and diversified into safe things as well, right? The crypto's your highest risk you can go with, but I'm also in the safest, most boring things at the exact same time. But when it comes to like my kids' stuff, that is definitely at 2/3 money market. Chris in Akumal. Hang tough, gang. I've kept my emotion log since Luna collapsed, and my indicators are flashing that we're close to or at a bottom. BCB, we appreciate you. I hope people did document this period right in here. I was trying to encourage that because a lot of times we only write in them when we're really down in the dumps, and we don't write them when we're really excited. But it's always important to have those really exciting times too, because what happens is people get drunk on narratives, just like they do when they're gloom and doom. They get really blinded by them in the thick of the moment at the exact same time. So it's important to have that documented as well. What if this does go to $1 bajillion like Kathy Wood says it's going to? Right? Instead of being like, but like even take this off log scale. It's like not as like impressive when we're not on log scale, right? You're just kind of like, wait a minute, that was just like a retrace. Why did we all get so euphoric? Thank you, Chris. Chris again gifted a BCB membership. Brother, thank you, man. Andy Philpont came in strong with 10 gifted BCB memberships. Guys, if you're getting hooked up in the chat, thank the guys who hook you up, man. It's really nice. Really nice of them. Andy, as always, man, thank you. Kevin Smith, member for 7 months. I just convinced my mom to sell the house and short Bitcoin to 12K on 100X. Wish me and her luck. 7-month member, thanks for keeping us sane. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, of course, is goofing off. As always, I do not encourage you to touch leverage. I don't promote it. You're always welcome to do whatever the heck you want to do. Just do know that using leverage is the easiest way to get absolutely demolished and wrecked. It's one thing to buy the top of Bitcoin and it fall 20%. It's another thing to buy the top of Bitcoin on 5x leverage and it fall 20% because you just lost literally everything. And that is the consequence of leverage. Everybody gets lured in by the screenshots of people making hundreds and thousands of percents on leverage. Literally nobody posts, which happens to 99% of people. It's the hidden truth that it's like 99% of people, they get wiped out to literal zero. And those screenshots never make it onto Twitter. It's only the ones that they win on that make it onto Twitter. It's just like people, would anybody post, if they're playing a slot machine at Vegas, would they just post it on Twitter expecting high engagement? Just lost $1,000 on this slot machine. Why would anybody post that? How about would they post, hey, just won $5,000 on a slot machine and post a picture of it? And people are like, yeah, good job, right? Nobody posts their L's on Twitter. And there's a huge allurement that you can make a ton of money on leverage trading, but you are most likely going to literally go to zero quickly with leverage trading. All right, Kevin, thank you. Jordan Oliver, yo, we were looking for $12 for this cycle all-time high, but you said the longer it takes, the lower the target because when market cap is the max extension, what are you expecting? Well, we talk about that. That gets brought up almost every week. If you go based on the market cap and you go based on inflation for all the years, what was the number last week? We saw it was 975, I think is where the 4.236 extension of the market cap hits for XRP. Andy Philpott gifted 5 BCB memberships. Andy, man, you're just killing it today. Dude, thank you, bro. John Trades, it's my 10th super chat. What are your targets for OP? Why are Bitcoin maxis so happy that the banks now control Bitcoin via an ETF? Well, the reason why they're so happy is because these are all just fly-by-day Bitcoin maxis. They're new, right? They're the guys who came in at the peak of 2021. They're not the guys who actually believed in it prior, right? It took the whole market running up for you to get all these new mega influencers in here. And they're not the original Bitcoin people, right? They're the Michael Saylor crowd. They're the foaming at the lips for Michael Saylor, the diamond hands, laser eyes. They have literally nothing to do with F the bank money and Bitcoin is FU money, like the original Bitcoiners were. And so that's just attracted the whole new crowd, and the messaging of what Bitcoin is completely different from what it used to be. And now it's, exactly. They just handed the reins of Bitcoin to BlackRock and to JP Morgan, and they're down 20%. And now JP Morgan and BlackRock have control. Guaranteed. Every time, like from here on out, BlackRock and JP Morgan are manipulating the price of Bitcoin. They're going to be best friends with the silver people, because that's what silver people scream nonstop. It's being manipulated. The price is being manipulated by the banks and JP Morgan. Now, there you go. And JP Morgan's the authorized participant on several of these things, right? At least on the BlackRock one, it is. So, it's a banker's coin. For those who don't know, this is the irony of that. Bitcoiners always called XRP the banker's coin. Bitcoin is now the banker's coin. Literally. They celebrate. BlackRock owns us now. Look, BlackRock owns even more of us now. It's fun to poke fun at it just because I've been here for 7 years and watched this whole transition happen of like these just like anti-government people, anti-bank people just become so happy that the banks own them now. Thank you, John. Snoopy RL, hey BCB, just wondering if this is a correction for alts. ABC is evident in AVAX and DOT. Interesting what you said about XRP on Friday. Had to take a call. Well, yeah, it's clearly a correction in alts. The question is, can Bitcoin find support? If Bitcoin can find supports in here, this is our chance, right? Like, this is it. My thoughts are going to be whatever happens with the altcoins is what happens with the altcoins, whether it gets some big run or it's very muffled and it's very tame. And it doesn't end up being much at all. Really kind of all comes in. Dude, what is going on with this thing? It comes, I don't know what's going on with this. It's like broken. I wish I could draw on here. That would be really nice. If we can get back up in here. Whatever happens with the altcoin market as we retrace, and if this can get one more little push a little bit higher up in here. Geez, what happens if I go to a different chart? Can I get, yeah, this works even better. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that one in particular. Can I go back here and try again? No, you're just straight up broken. Let's try this. Let's go to like Coinbase. It's just this tab. I don't know why this tab is acting like this. This is fine. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So, maybe this is still just a continued sign of strength phase happening in here up at this top for the altcoin market. But either way, whatever happens with Bitcoin getting back up into its retracement levels again, if it's still in distribution, if we see Bitcoin like hitting its 702 and its market cap hits $1 trillion or something, or it only 702 retraces this move right in here, and the altcoin market only gets up in here at that point, that's it. That's just, that's where it's going to have to be massive de-risking for me. And like, again, like reiterating, like the Bitcoin's price action has totally mirrored what past recovery super cycles look like. It's not that it's acting any different. It's actually acting nearly identical to 2016 of where it just kind of corrects from here and then it just goes on and shuffles up much, much higher. The big problem all resides here in this stuff. This is where trying not to be blinded by that. Hey, it just repeats every 4 years. It does this exact same thing every time. There's this big overhang happening right in here. And we have to get this question resolved, right? There has to be this resolution right in here. If this thing fires through here and just keeps on going and it treats this 4.236 extension like it's just butter and it just keeps on plowing through in here, my thoughts on everything are going to have to change very quickly when it comes to recovering on Bitcoin and all that stuff right there. But to ignore it right here and to pretend it's not going to happen, there's zero chance I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to sit here very, very concerned about this particular level right in here. So if we see like Bitcoin get back to near its little highs up there, it gets back up to like 45, 47, whatever, $47,000. You see the altcoin market get back up here and into its retracement levels. And then we have the NASDAQ hit these levels all at the same time. Well, that's just what it is, right? That's just how high we ended up getting. But is it a correction? Of course, I assume the correction in the altcoins will all stop once Bitcoin can find some supports coming in here at the exact same time. But it looks like still I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of it yet until there's a big fat move up in there that we're done with it yet. But again, we're getting close to areas where it could happen at. See if I can get to a different chart. We'll go here. No, we'll go here. Use this. There. But like AVAX and especially Solana too, right? They got so high. I haven't checked on AVAX in quite some time. Right, 467% run. Not entirely convinced that's it for AVAX in regards to support levels in here. Probably still a little bit more to go. But again, I mean, that seems kind of evident everywhere. Like the majority of it, we're reaching extreme pain points now where people they can hold it okay to here, but they can't take it any further than that. And these are the things we talked about just weeks ago, right? Like, can you handle 60% corrections? Because you're insane to think you're not going to get them. These are the pain points where those buying into AVAX, buying into Solana. How is Solana doing? Right, when things get put into perspective like this, and you just realize like how YOLO euphoric people were for Solana, and was Solana really on some massive bull run? Things to think about, like when the herd is all running together, right? I'm still gonna guess there's more for Solana, but AVAX in general looks like the bulk of it could be done. But it's just like with Bitcoin, we see that we could get like one more flush in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's one more flush in XRP. But we're definitely at least in XRP, we're in that area of where these things can definitely shoot out of here. So it could just show up at any second. Wesley, member for 6 months. Hey, BCB, thank you. My rabbit XRP is sick. If I build a 70.2 centimeter on his hutch, how soon will he recover? Appease the hutch is a cold moon, 702. Salute you. Okay, thank you, Wesley. John Costco. Based on your developer research and all the data you compiled, what are the top 3 strongest coins in your opinion? If you don't want to say I understand, I appreciate you and God bless. Well, this is that's the fascinating thing about this data. When you look at it, the developer group does the best. And in here, we were playing with what would like different 10 coin portfolios look like, what would different 20 coin portfolios look like. Because if you wanted to have the literal best portfolio of 2021, what were the 3 coins that had to be included in there? You had to, of course, have Dogecoin in there. You, of course, had to have Solana, and you had to have Decentraland Mana, right? So was there anything consistent amongst those 3 things that would have landed them in your portfolio? And that's where your challenge comes into it, right? And I've tried to create the analogy of thinking of it like it's very unlikely that you're going to land. If you buy 3 coins, you're going to buy the 3 best. It's just so unlikely to happen, like really, really unlikely. And the way you have to think about it is that like you're pretty much going to throw a dart at balloons, like you're at a fair or you're at a bar or something, right? And they've got balloons taped to the wall. And you're going to take 3 darts and you're going to throw out those balloons, and those are going to be the assets that you're going to buy. And you have to say, well, what is going to be inside those balloons, right? There's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, there's going to be stuff that goes to 0 that's in there that you're going to end up hitting. And so you have to try to find a way to narrow those balloons down to where you're not throwing at the top 100 by market cap. You're not throwing at all 100 in there, which only 22% went into all-time highs. So you see 100 balloons on the wall. Only 22% of them went into all-time highs. And of those 22%, some of them just barely wicked above all-time highs. So how do you weed that down? What is the stuff you can do to reduce the number of balloons on the wall to where instead of it being 100, there's maybe only 20? And of those 20, the average returns of those 20 was like 2,500% versus the average returns of the entire top 100, which was only 700%. And then you start throwing your darts at a smaller sample size that has a better average return. And hopefully you land on something like Solana, Doge, or Decentraland. I couldn't say from a probability of which ones in particular are going to be the chosen ones. But I could say that when we look at the list of which ones did get chosen, we isolated down the lists of where they came from. And the data that was looked at in here. Again, like the thing that produced the best results in 2021 from just this, if you want to just be as simple as you possibly can, it's just to go into high dev, top 10, top 15 high dev, throw your darts there and hope you land on them, right? And you're not going to have a 100% hit rate. But again, only throwing 3 darts, your odds are real low. And that's why in here we played with the ideas of how about 10 darts? How about 15, 20 darts? And that's where the numbers really changed and your probabilities became higher. So I don't know if it would be like what are 3? It'd be more like I'm a math person. I play math games. And it's, well, how about we say, what about these 15? I bet the average returns of this 15 will probably outperform the average returns of every other subset of 15. You know what I mean? And just for anybody who doesn't want to go into like the super case study that we did, which it's fascinating, and I spent like hundreds of hours doing it. If you want to just be simple, developer activity. Read the developer reports that we'll be going through. There's a reason we're focusing on developer data on XRP. It's not just because of to be nitpickers, right? It's legit, right? Like it's proven to be important information. Fortunately for XRP, right? One of the things that we studied in here was percentage drawdowns, right? And that's one thing in here. The percentage drawdown groups did matter a lot on whether or not things could go into all-time highs. And from the top 100, the things that went into all-time high were really isolated into things that had really shallow drawdowns. If you didn't know that, like Dogecoin had a very shallow drawdown during the bear market. Bitcoin at 86% was very shallow during the 2018 bear market. And XRP's 85.5% here in 2022 was very shallow compared to the rest of the market. It put XRP in the top 10 of most shallow drawdowns of 2022. And the percentage drawdowns we saw in 2022 were no different than what we've seen in the past. It was exactly normal stuff that we've always seen. Fortunately, it falls into these groups. It falls positively into the circulating supply analysis and circulating supply groups. It falls just perfect down into the drawdown group. Those things mattered in 2021, and developer activity didn't necessarily impact things like Dogecoin as long as they had things like this going for it. But if you want to add the third check mark for XRP, you need development activity. You need economies being built on there. You need success to happen there. And that's the focus of 2024. That's the thing that's missing. The development activity, strong developer and builder community, and successful projects. We call them projects, but they call them what they are. Right? They're businesses, right? There needs to be businesses that can be launched. And businesses provide products that people want to use. Is Uniswap a project or a business? Uniswap is a business, right? People use it like crazy. Uniswap makes a ton of money. It's a business. You just call it a project, right? So that's the thing missing. But if I had to make it simple, like this requires lots of data, figuring out all the drawdowns, figuring out all the circulating supply, inflation rates, all that stuff, which I have already done for you in my newsletter on blockchainbacker.substack.com. But for free and available anywhere is that development activity on Sentiment, and then over there on Electra Capital's developer report. And I wouldn't just pick three. For me, that's not how I'm doing it. I'm throwing out the whole group. I'll show it to you again. Sentiment. You guys are going to love it. Again, I'm not sponsored by Sentiment. I don't get paid anything by them. Nothing like that. Screener. Pulling it up on the other screen. Got to keep talking so we're not silent in front of 3,500 people. And there you have it, right? So here you go. These are your top development activity coins. Cardano, Polkadot, Kusama, Optimism, Hedera, Status, Cosmos, Internet Computer, Chainlink, Ethereum, Vega Protocol. Again, this one's weird to me. I just don't... I brought that up when I interviewed them on why this one's here. I saw it drop down to 20 recently, then it's back. I don't know about that one. Sui, Decentraland, Multiverse X, Avalanche, Osmosis, Solana, Near, Flow, Aptos. Right? But your top 10 are Cardano, Polkadot, Kusama, Optimism, HBAR, Status, Cosmos, ICP, Chainlink, and Ethereum. Those are top developed crypto chains. Okay. Wigmapool 182. When BCB portfolio tracker, asking a friend and all the busy dads out there. If people just want to copy trade. Thank you, Wigmapool 182. Long timer. It says 16 months, but I know you've been around a long time before that. Snoopy IRL, member for 3 months. It's been 3 months. Oh yeah, 3 months. There you go, member for 3 months. Thank you. Don Smith with a little super sticker says, how's it going? Thank you very much. Cash me outside, my brother. With all these B days, BCB is now 56. Hit the like. Yeah, this is my 4th birthday this month. JP Smith, how do you feel about SQQQ to protect you against the crash? So SQQ is obviously an inverse ETF of the S&P, right? If things moved quickly, obviously that would be a play. I don't know the numbers on that, on what the fee is associated with SQQQ. So I don't know what type of erosion happens to your initial investment for however long you're in something like that. For example, this is SQQQ, ProShares Ultra Short QQQ. We could add in the S&P. Right, so you can see how the erosion kind of happens in here too, right? Like right here. Like this thing already breaks below its lows and keeps going again, even though the S&P is still way down here. So it erodes so fast. The erosion on it happens so quick. So it's almost like you do have to have your timing down correct, right? Like another example is like, right, like you can see that the S&P is pretty much right back at its all-time high. We can just assume it's like just barely here, right? So you would assume that you would only be at about that same level right in here, but that, you know, all the fees associated with it has caused it to lose an additional 58%. Right, so it's ultra short, like the fees associated with it. So you're gonna have to have your timing like nailed perfectly. And I think it actually is one of those things. It's just in and out. Even if you're right, that like stock market, like the S&P, just kind of goes like this. You're not going to see this guy like fire to the upside just because it's going to erode from the fees so bad. So it's kind of one of those in and out plays that like if you think the thing's crashing and crumbling, it's going to happen quickly. You know, that's a play. But then it's like getting out of it. It's also getting out of it really fast. It's not a buy and hold at all because it's going to erode so terribly. You can be right and you'll still be wrong, if you get what I mean, right? You got to be super fast. Colin Stevens, new member, welcome. We're already an hour and 7 minutes. All right. Perzuvial FXC. Thank you very much, brother. TG, member for 8 months. My usual chat is a thank you to you, which of course still applies. But I wanted to shout out to PTW and the mods who do lots of work behind the scenes. They do. They do. The mods are in here killing it all the time. There's a lot of work. They do it completely for free. I love them. They're amazing. And like PTW, if you notice, I'd love to give her a little bit of recognition as well. If you notice on this channel, and especially for the size of this channel that this is, there are no scam comments in any of my videos or in the comment sections of any of my live streams. The scam stuff does not exist here. That doesn't happen by accident. That is a tremendous amount of work to weed out the scam comments and the bots, all that. Contact me on Telegram, the WhatsApp stuff, all that stuff, right? And the imitators and the imposters. There's hundreds of those every single day on this channel. But PTW weeds them all out. She bans and clears them out every day. And it's more of those comments every day than actual comments on videos that we have to deal with. And so shout out to her because she is the one who takes care of all of that to make sure those never make it onto the channel. And that's been going on. We haven't had the scam comments on the channel for almost 2 years now, going through and doing that. And we've gotten reports from YouTube on how many comments happen on the videos. It gives us a report. Congratulations, you have 100,000 over 100,000 bot, scam, Telegram, WhatsApp comments get weeded, deleted, and banned a year. 100,000. And that's her. So thank you to my beautiful, wonderful wife. So TG, you got it, brother. Thanks to her. Andy Philpott gifted 5 BCB memberships. Andy, again, still late into the stream, going strong. Thank you, man. Stephen Edinburgh gifted 5 as well. Stephen, thank you very much. Vlad Ponzar, it's been a little while. What do you think of the developer data on XLM compared to XRP? I haven't looked at XLM in the most recent report. In the report prior, they looked pretty good. But I didn't look at the recent one. We can do it together. Just walk you guys through this thing. Why not, right? First thing we can do. Again, like in here, you see you have the average 1-year return, negative 19% on full-time devs. That's the number we're going to pay attention to is full-time devs. Go to Stellar. Plus 15%, right? So these numbers are all in the positive direction. Number of developers holds steady. Repos climbing, right? What is this? The established developers, the newcomers, the emerging. Oh, they don't even give you the full thing because they don't want to. They're trying to not paint that picture, I think. I don't like that they're doing this now. Come on, just give us the true number. They're trying, like, because the picture would be ugly. I don't want to see it like this. You know what I mean? Like, they've broken it apart now, and you can't see what the full number is. I don't like. Oh, here we go. There you go. Monthly commit. So they're growing, right? It looks good. The problem is, where is the Stellar Lemons community? Right? It's just XRP holders. So where is like the Stellar Lemons community? Where is anything being built on Stellar Lemons that community members are using or the economies that are built on it? I just don't hear about them. It's just, the typical culprit XRPs that are perpetuating Stellar Lemons. And then the price is in the concern about Stellar Lemons is that price and how tied it is to XRP. That anything that happens positively for XRP, even on the 1 second time frame, Stellar Lemons tags along, and nothing else does that. So there's just this weird thing about Stellar Lemons that I can't put my finger on. I don't know what to think about it. It's bizarre. So I don't really know. That big thing that bothers me is those correlations in price behavior. It's very, very, very bizarre. Maddie B says, all you new people, hit the like button. 281 likes out of 3,500 is a disgrace. I think maybe you haven't refreshed yet. We are at least at 1,581. But I'm not gonna complain for more likes. Hit the like button. So, all right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. These are the things we're gonna be looking for today, to see if we can find some support levels coming in here pretty soon. We don't see anything on the indicators indicating it in just yet. Looking on things like XRP, boom, and nice. We're back above 51 cents. Again, we've talked about this stuff today here. This was the actual level. I don't know why we're getting a different number over here on CoinTrader Pro. For example, like look at this peak down in here. This is clearly where the level comes down to, down here near 20 cents into here. Here is this level at 22. We don't have that anywhere else. That is not here. We definitely come back lower. We head back down in here. I don't know why we were suddenly looking at here and why we're getting a different number here on CoinTrader Pro. We definitely come back down lower. We are in the zone right now. This is exactly where we should be. Now we are looking for a real bounce to emerge in here and for something quick to happen. We do have 5 clearly defined waves in here, which you can very clearly see. Throw it on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish her off. Question is that just 1, 2, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one more in there. If we end up getting it in there, I'm taking a big stab at it. But you know what? If I miss it, that's fine. Let's just get out of here, and everybody can cool their jets and be cool. But we're definitely in the zone for things to get happening in here, right now. This is what I'll be watching for today. And hopefully when we come on tomorrow, we just have a sea of green emerging in here, and Bitcoin finally gets some support to show up in there. But yeah, there we go. Happy Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and hopefully we're playing the Frogs in celebration tomorrow. That'd be dope. So, okay. You guys, you can check out bcbacker.com, get over 40 videos from me, over 11 hours of content, deep diving into the historical behavior of the market, teaching you how to set up your own charts, your own indicators, TradingView, CoinTrader Pro, Wyckoff accumulation, Elliott wave theory, just like those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s we just saw. All types of delicious stuff in here, like secret sauce, but also downloadable PDFs in here so you can print them out. Extra material to go along with any of this if you want to just have it to reference back to. Print it out, put it on your PC, do whatever you want with it. I don't care. $39 one time over here, BC Backer, a whole day, 2 days worth of videos from me. Of course, check out the newsletter in here. This is where we just finished up that whole case study with all that development data activity over there at Substack. That's blockchainbacker.substack.com. Most recent one in there was taking a look at that top for Bitcoin. Expecting that to be the actual top here. And then the one prior to that was really what we're looking forward to in 2024. These are the things we're looking for. Excitement and quite a bit of mix too, right? Not that we are going to have straight up all year long, but that we're kind of heading into a very pivotal time period right in here. And I still think there's plenty of excitement to go around, but we have to kind of navigate that changing ship when it does eventually come. If we end up finding some topping structures emerging in here, like we've also talked about over here on the NDXT, that this year will be a year of change. There could be time periods of extreme excitement, but to kind of not expect it to last the whole year. But otherwise, check that out over there on Substack. Check out bcbacker.com, and hopefully tomorrow we come on with a big fat green candle. Otherwise, guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing okay out there. If you could, please like this live stream. Please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.